All right, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Tacos en Europa. I am Jorge,
My name is Sergio.
and this is the first of the many videos that we will be doing this off season, starting with the updates of the national team and how they played this week. We have 2 youth games and 2 major team games, so we're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff today. Before we get started, though, you already know that you guys can follow us on social media. We're on everywhere at Tacos en Europa. Just look up on your favorite social media, look us up, you'll find us. You can also follow us on YouTube and any of your podcast platforms that you like. You can find us there as well. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscription. Let us know what you guys want to see on the next episode. You guys know this is the only podcast that talks about all the Mexican players in 2 languages and everything like that. So come on, let your friends know about it, and let's keep this thing growing, man.
That's right.
All right, so let's start off, man, with the youth team right now. We had 2 games in the Maurice Revelo tournament in France. The first one was against the Mediterranean team. I know it sounds weird, but what happened was that Togo was supposed to play that tournament. They had to back out last minute, and they made this random Mediterranean team with random players at the last minute. And
that's great for the players. I mean, if you're a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and they say, "Hey, you wanna go?"
Right? Let's do it. And it's a Mexico U21 team, by the way. Sorry, it's a goal by Kevin Alvarez as we're filming this. But it's the U21 Mexico team, by the way. And even though this team, Mediterranean team, was like made in like 2 days ago before the game, they balled. Like they were making us look pretty bad for a good like game and a half.
I mean, we were making us look pretty bad. The manager.
That's what I want to see. I'm gonna talk about that more, but that's what I want to see, man. That's what this is supposed to be. Okay, continue.
No, I mean, the game in general was pretty like uninspiring, especially in the first half. You can blame the coach. You can blame Marcelo Flores, maybe. There was a lot of expectations on him, and he's not coping with them. And he hasn't had minutes in Oviedo, so that's really hurting.
Yeah, he's a little stiff at the moment. We had 2 goals, one by Pablo Monroy from Pumas and one by Heriberto Jurado from Necaxa. Like you said, Marcelo just giving a lot left to be desired, to be honest with you. And just in general, the team in this game, I didn't see anybody that stood out to me. I have one that
maybe the center back, Juarez.
Juarez was pretty good, but the defense, like it was an interesting game on this one. But we went 2-1, and on the next one we have a game against Qatar U21s. We win this one 4-0, but don't let that scoreline like lie to you, because it really was a similar game to the first one. It wasn't until the second half where we had 4 goals. We had 3 off of corners. Yeah, that's when the game started opening up. You know, you score the first one, Qatar starts moving a little bit. You score the second one, then they start opening up, and that's when we were able to score the other 2 goals. We were reaching the area a little more, you know. So we did see a more inspired team in the second half. Actually, once Marcelo was out of the pitch, not to be like mean or anything, but like his departure really did leave a little more open for us to attack. And
I think that comes from with you take Marcelo, but you also put up 2 strikers. You know, you leave the boy from Chile and Jesus Hernandez from Elche, and both of those play like good off of each other because they're different. Like Hernandez is really big, and the boy is not as big, I think. So they play like different, and that I think it opened up on the front.
Yeah, so it was a change of system in general, which has helped. Not to blame it all on Marcelo, you know. But yeah, it was a 4-0, not very convincing though. You know, anytime you have like 3 goals out of a stoppage ball, that's when you're kind of like, this system isn't working too well, you know. And the last one came in, you know, because Qatar was already defeated. So I didn't really like the performance too much, but you know, I'm not gonna argue with a 4-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you get, you know. But the first half wasn't great. Qatar was playing very intense, very with a high line, so that was interesting. This guy, I don't remember where he's from, like Galdames. Galdames?
Yeah, Galdames.
He was kind of good as well as Suarez, so that's everything, all that I could see in these games. But you know, we have to wait till till we get to France and maybe some other teams that may be a little more competitive, you know?
Yeah. And so pretty much, it was a decent performance, nothing too crazy to go about. And pretty much what we're standing is we are the maximum winner right now. And just a simple tie against Australia in the next match gets us to the next round. Now, I do want to say
which will be 75.
Yeah. And I do want to say we did have the easiest group. So it doesn't really mean that much that we're the maximum winner.
Yeah.
But still, it's good. I'm not complaining, to be honest with you. All right, let's get to the good stuff. Let's talk about the major team, the
good stuff.
The good stuff. The major national team. The first game, it's like Mexico. You have here Mexico B, but I think it was Mexico C against Guatemala. 2-0 win. Goals by Raúl Jiménez as a penalty and De La Rosa. All right, you want to start us off?
Well, yes. I keep saying Mexico B because the defensive line, these 5 people defensive line is mostly the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there's Guzman, there's Israel, Kevin was there. I think on the left was Alvarado. That was a little weird. We'll talk about that. So there were a lot of people that will play on the bench for the main team. Not a lot of starters, but there's enough that I can say, oh, it's the B with a little of the C team sprinkled in.
It's like they would get minutes. They would get some minutes in a competition. Yeah.
So they played a 3 center back system. That's the big standout of these 2 games.
The Coca way.
The Coca way. And interesting, we will get to that, but Coca likes to play with 3 center backs, and in the first game there were Israel, Araujo, and Guzman.
Mm-hmm.
And on the second one, it was Tiva Sepulveda instead of Guzman, but the same three-man center back system.
Yeah.
But what's weird is that he wasn't playing at 3-5-2, like Inter Milan did this game and every other game. No, he was playing something that, if you remember, what Wolf used to play.
Yeah.
The 3-4-3. But if you can remember, by the time Wolf stopped performing, it was because the 2-man midfield was like collapsing.
It's not working.
The wingers weren't creating anything. The striker was alone the whole game. The wing backs weren't like reaching the end line. So
they were winging.
They were winging. It was all collapsing. And I mean, that's exactly what's happening with this Mexico B. Jimenez was playing alone. The midfield was like a ghost town. The center backs were really afraid of like advancing.
Yeah,
like Coca, but drive the ball forward. You need to drive the ball forward, and they weren't. So still, the system is not looking good in these 2 games
so far.
That's so far we can say.
Yeah. And the first game, you had like kind of disheartening. You see the players not used to this yet. You see it's a lot of that, Raúl Jiménez, like you can say, oh, he's bad, whatever, but he just didn't even receive the ball. He didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
He had to come. I wanted to see him come down a little more and then see the two.
But you can't come down a little more on this system, because you leave the wingers all open on. There's no one in front.
I'm saying you bring him a little bit lower, and then you put up the 2 like wingers or like attacking midfielders, whatever you want to call them, up a little more, and that's when like you start playing in that direction now. So I wanted to see it a little more, like kind of more of like a 3-4-1-2 type of deal. You know what I mean? But like it just didn't really. It's not being experimented yet. But on the game today against Cameroon, we tied 2-2. It just ended right now. And I mean, I have a lot to say, but go ahead and kick it off for us.
Yeah, the same. They were playing a 5-3. The difference was the wingers weren't. Well, they were a little more. These were a little more wingy. In the first game, it was Xavi Rodriguez and Jonathan Herrera, and neither of them were playing wide. And the wingbacks weren't going forward all that much. They were playing like fullbacks. So the space of the wings wasn't really well used, and the midfield was overrun by Cameroonians and Guatemalans in the first game, which, to be fair, both teams came to play.
Yeah.
Guatemala didn't try to break legs. Cameroon was actually trying to win. They were twice winning the game.
Yeah.
So that's really good, especially for the Mexican players.
Yeah, no, respect.
They're not gonna get better minutes on the Gold Cup, neither on the Final Four of the Nations League. So this is really good for them. And still, they didn't look good. The only player that looked good in both games was Chaves.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, to me, like this one, man, like this game today, it just shows that something I said in the first one already, that they're not used to the system, you know. But the reason why I'm not too mad is because I don't think it matters that much yet. Because a lot of these players aren't going to play on Thursday. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not the goal. The goal was not to win most of them. The goal was not to win these two games. The goal was not to like get 5-0 win, whatever. Like that was not the goal. Coca wants to see how these players are fitting in his system. Because you already know, Montes is going to play. Vasquez is going to play. Alvarez is going to play. Orbelin is going to play. Jimenez is going to start. And who else you got?
With a G.
Jimenez with a G is going to stay. And Ochoa is going to play. So your question right now is, we're assuming that it's all painting like Edson Alvarez is going to be the central defender, like in the middle. That's what it looks like, but we're not sure yet. So your question right now is, who are your fullbacks or like wingbacks? Who is next to Chavez? And who's going to be your wingers? Those are the questions we're trying to find out. So he's trying to fill in those spots. And the way it's looking right now, it's looking like your right back. I love Jorge Sanchez. I think he can play that position. But after that season in Ajax and his low confidence, I don't think he can do it right now. Not at the moment. But I know it might be. He has the ability.
I think it's going to be Araujo.
Yeah, I think he has the ability, but I just don't see it happening right now, like today. So we're thinking Araujo on the left. Yeah, with Gallardo, I think it's going to be Arteaga because he hasn't played yet. And they were saying that the people who haven't played are going to most likely play. So it's going to be Arteaga, but Gallardo wasn't terrible either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Gallardo was one of the less mistakes made on this game. So maybe he is the...
He has a chance. He has a chance. Now, next to Chavez, now you have... It's either Chiquito Sanchez or Romo. And to be honest, even though Romo wasn't like a star, to me, he looked at the very least like one of the only people that like understood what the system needed. Does that make sense?
But at the same time, he made this horrible mistake.
He made mistakes
on the second game.
Yeah, he did not look like amazing. But I saw him and I feel like I think he knows what he needs to do. It's just if you put him maybe in a system of other people that also know, then maybe it can work. You know what I mean?
I mean, the thing is, if you do put Romo there, you're killing Chavez. He has to cover so much ground because Romo is so slow. That's what Sanchez gives you. You know,
which is what brings
Sanchez,
me. Yeah, to Sanchez because he knows Chavez and in general he just plays well, like in general.
Yeah.
So
he's really good at keeping the ball.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and then you have your wingers. So who are you putting next to Santi Jimenez? Because Santi Jimenez, he can come down, but he's not that type of like striker.
Yeah, he's no problem.
Yeah, he's not that type of striker. So you need two people that are gonna be able to move the ball up, help him out, be dangerous, making those good runs for the center backs to actually throw long balls to.
Yeah.
So what you got, like Vega and probably Antuna, it's gonna have to be.
You remember what I can maybe try to like grab meaning out of these two games that really we shouldn't try to do this because they actually have no meaning.
They didn't mean anything.
The wingers weren't really wingers. You know, the only one that was playing like really wide is Antuna because he doesn't know how to play anything else.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling that he's playing something a little more close to what Chelsea used to play with Tuchel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where it's not a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
But a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, with two number 10s.
Yeah. They're two attacking midfielders pretty much. And they can go like wide if they need to, but they're essentially there to back up that striker that doesn't.
The problem is we don't have those players in these two games.
We don't have those creative guys.
We have two of those that didn't play today. Orbelin and Sebastián Córdoba.
Oh, yeah, and Córdoba. So
both of those are midfielders, attacking midfielders that can go wide.
And they can wing.
They can wing a little bit, not too much. So maybe that's what you could do.
Yes.
Even you could swap one of those with Vega. You know that Vega is a little more of a winger, but still.
Yeah, because Vega has that ability to play down the middle if he needs to. Antuna, though, the problem here is that he's only good on the wing. He's only good when you put him out wide. So it's different.
And a lot of people are gonna say that's not good.
Yeah, but it's like that's his thing. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good point right there. And I actually said Orbelin was going to play. So really, I think he is going to be one of those. And it's just a matter of who's going to be next to him. And Sebastián Córdoba, very good idea.
We are assuming a lot of things here. But one, that Edson is going to be one of the three center backs.
Yeah.
And that's not for sure.
Yeah.
Also, if Edson is one of the center backs, we're assuming Orbelin is not going to be one of the midfielders.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's not for sure. Or even Córdoba.
Yeah, because if you put Orbelin next to Chavez, like, it can work. It can work. It's just going to be, you're going to have to put other pieces up. You're going to have to move your pieces around a little bit up top. But
yeah, and again, we're assuming a lot because we have nothing else to go. We have never seen this 11, the full 11 play with Coca.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. To be honest, like, even though like we tied here, Guatemala was a snoozer, I'm still excited because like now we see what we have. I think at the very least, from the top, like besides the attackers, I think we kind of know what we're gonna see at the bottom, with the exception of Edson Alvarez. I think we kind of see what's going around that,
Yeah, so, we know two of the three center backs.
Yeah, we know Chavez is gonna be there. We know probably Araujo is gonna be the starter because he's the one that. Because
I get the feeling Coca like him.
Yeah, because Alvarez isn't gonna go for whatever reason. But speaking of that, the goal that we just saw right now, like that's what the system is about.
That's a wing back goal.
That's what the system. Your wing backs are like one of the most important parts of this like lineup, of this setup, and like if you can engage them like that, like that's the key. That's why I think like those are very important. And then Arteaga and Araujo are gonna be very, very like interesting to see on Thursday if they're the ones that go start. Yeah, man. But we're running a little bit out of time than we were expecting, man. So let's go ahead and give me your player of the week. For the youth first.
For the youth. My player of the week for the youth, I'm going to say Jurado. I like a good center back that has positioning. So I'm going to say that.
I like that. No, he was solid. He was pretty good. He actually had a couple of like last minute like saves, not like on the goal line, but he had a couple last minute saves that kept the national team in the game. I really liked Galdames because he had those 2 assists in 2 games, and then on the third one he literally did like 2 of the corners, like the first 2 corners. He was about to do the third one, but then he gave it to somebody else. So I think he balled out, man. He was everywhere on the field too.
Yeah, he was decent. And we're not talking about the boy scored twice. On the Qatar game. He's been decent, even though I like a little more Hernandez,
Yeah, because to me, like, for right now, the goals don't like matter too much to me because it's like the system wasn't working too well for it to like make them look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say the Mane is really.
Yeah, it must be a national team thing, huh? But who was your favorite player for the major team?
Because I go first, I'm gonna say it was Chavez. There's no one else.
I'm gonna copy you on that one. Like it's easy, hands down. Chavez did great in both games, and you already know he's gonna play on Thursday, so it's not even gonna be a surprise.
I'm gonna ask you one we didn't prepare for, but I want to get you to think.
Come at me.
Who was the better center back of the 3, or of the 4 that played
today, or in general?
In the 2 games. We had
Reyes, we had Tiva, we had Araujo, and we had Guzman. I like Guzman a lot. Guzman did good on the first game.
Okay.
Who'd you like? I know. I think I know.
I think the better one was Araujo. Araujo he didn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's a big one for him. He didn't have to run too much, which is like his biggest weakness. So I think he was like better. Yeah. Like statistically, he was the better player on the Guatemala game, and in this one, he was fine. as well.
He was doing like, I think those are the opportunities that show you like experience matters. Like having the time with the national team, like it's not all just about club football. You know what I mean? Like it also has to do with like national team. And if you have that experience, it can have you to have performances like this, man. So that's a good one. I like Araujo too. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. We're running out of time here. So we will see you guys on the next major team game. So have a good couple of days. We will see you soon. I am Jorge.
My name is Edgar.
You guys have a great couple of days. Don't forget to follow us on all social media.